Hello, darling. Come down. Get a bit close. Get closer to me. I'm back on the arms. I better get off it. Excuse me. Esquisito. I've just been in the bathroom / shower / toilet / everything, giving my eye a going over. Oh, can you see it? Like it's putrid. Anyway, I told you, I went to the eye doctor and they wanted $16.6 million to see the doctor, the eye doctor. He had to have been a specialist because that's over $1,000 US, you know. You know, it's just, yeah. I felt sick in the stomach when she wrote it on a piece of paper and handed it to me. It was so noisy and crowded. Oh, you couldn't even bloody hear it. Couldn't think. But anyway, when I looked at the paper, I got the crook in the guts. And then I had to go out and I'd sit in the cafe and have a cigarette and a twister and compose myself from the shock, because it dead set, it rattled me. Anyway, I had a cigarette. One of these little orange twister drinks, they're quite nice and delicious. Had one of them and got my thoughts together. And silly me, I got Mun to drop me off at the eye doctor. And I tell you what, matey, it's on the other side of District 1. And it was stinking filthy hot. I thought, oh, look at this is great. Anyway, I walks back to the motel and had myself a bit of tickle and lunch and had a bit of a sleep, because I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm up tonight again too. It's friggin' 11 o'clock at night here. As my eyes giving me heaps. But anyway, I wandered back over to the other side of District 1 to the post office, because I wanted to post a couple of postcards and ring Albie and maybe see the doctor. I actually did go to both the doctors to check on the price of seeing them. One was $127 US, 127 bucks. And the other guy was only 45. Now he's the one, but they didn't take American Express, and when I rang up to see how much was in my account, I didn't check the credit card thing, so I run out of money, had to go and get another card, ring back, see how much was on my Visa card. Oh God, it's maxed out. There's only $100, $100 and a little left on that. Oh, yay. Anyway, I went, after checking the money in my account, I went back to the doctors and I stood there in front of the doctors, and I don't know whether it was the thought of handing over money to these licensed bloody professional bandits or what, but I declined again, because my at that moment suddenly felt better, and I said, oh, I'll self-medicate and get rid of it anyway, which is what I've been doing to this date in order to cope with it, because when I wake up after getting a tiny bit of sleep in the early hours of the morning and I wake up, it's like a waterfall. It's literally water is pouring out of my eyes, because the cones, it's either the cones or the rods in your eye that, you know, when you wake up from the light and your eyes blink, blink, blink sort of business, that's the cones and the rods working, adjusting the focus, etc., etc. And where that happens to me with my one good eye, this one just pours, tears just roll out like crazy. So, waking up in the morning is not very nice. It's quite uncomfortable. And so. It doesn't sound like a broken record, but anyway. I rings Albie with this is with the other credit card. You got to buy, the phone cards here to use the phone. And the little money that was left on it, I did ring Alphonse. And he answered the phone, and he was skipping around Martin Place as I'd expected, and I asked him if he'd got any money together for us, and he said no, but he said he'd only just got home 3 o'clock. Today, so I thought, oh well, that's one excuse, tick one excuse off the list, one credible excuse, might I add. Now, the thing is, Al promised me faithfully that he would come good with some cash, because I've covered the both of us for the whole holiday, and we've gone through some cash, believe me, like in the order of 100 million between us. And 100 million, that sounds like another day, doesn't it? Well, it fucking is. And he did promise me faithfully, in moments of frustration, but I've seen it a zillion times before, when it's there, oh yeah, I'll get the money, the carrot's dangling in front of you, you'd sell your arsehole, to participate. But anyway, I hope at some point soon, Al, you make me eat these words, because I've never had, to me, like you made. I have other fucking stinking scumbag junkies that I expected to rip me off, but you did say, give me the chance to prove you right, prove him right, that, he would come good, way in. So, the litmus test is on, buddy. Excuse me while I wet my parched throat. Yes. Oh, dehydration just gets you here so bad. I'm taking, this is my first lolly water in days. Yes. So, getting back to what I was saying, Albie, I hope, again, you make me eat my words, buddy. But the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so let's see what you serve up in the next few days. Because you were skipping in the Martin Place, and you had been to Le Docteur, so it's all on. Hopefully. Money. Everything. It's always about money. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this. A couple of weeks ago, I was heading off to the post office to post some postcards. Enormous. I spent about $60 sending friggin' postcards this year, because some stupid bitch in the post office, so when I said Australia, she thought I said Austria, and I was wondering why the fucking, because I knew everything had gone up, like doubled, but this price had fucking tripled. And I went, get fucked. Yeah, so I discovers that she'd given me the postage stamps to go to friggin' Europe. Anyway, live and learn. Today when I went to the postcards, I said to the same woman, Australia, not Austria, Australia. And she gave me $8,000. I said, yeah, I knew that's right. So I sends off a couple of postcards, blah, blah, blah. Cost me a mint, as I said. But I digress. A couple of weeks ago when I was posting the first batch of postcards, I get accosted by this young right-side guy. You know, I didn't know at the time he was a Filipino, but as it turns out, he wasn't Kong, he was a Filipino. He spoke really good English too, this guy, and well presented. He had a girl, his cousin, with him. She was half pie, decent looking, you know, very chubby, so I thought, oh yeah, well fed. It's the first sign with Asians. If you see them a little bit chubby, you know that they can afford to eat a lot of food, so they must come from good homes. Anyway, this guy's other cousin just happened to be heading to Australia the following week, and he said, oh, would you mind, you know, we sit in the cafe and you talk to my cousin, tell her about Australia. Yeah, no problem. You know, because, you know, he was a nice guy. So, as it turns out, he says, oh, why don't you come back to my house and, you know, meet the family? And I said, oh yeah, okay, sounds reasonable. So he jumps in a taxi, goes to his house. Oh, down this street, that street, that street. God, I could never find the joint. My life depended on it. But wherever it was, it's in a ritzy part of town, really nice homes, etc., etc. Goes to his house, beautiful home, big double gates, wrought iron gates, and strolls in. There's some other cousins and, you know, his brothers and sisters there, and oh, yeah, it's all good. Sits down, meets everybody, and his father comes down, and you know, he works as he was the head croupier on one of those big plush boat liner, and was very well spoken. Anyway, we sits down. Next thing, they said, oh, come and eat. Oh, mate, they laid out the maddest bloody smorgasbord of just fantastic food, bit of everything. So I sits down, has a growl, and had a couple of drinks of lolly water, and it's all good. And chatting away to the father, you know. He said, oh yes, my daughter's going to Canberra next week, and blah, blah, blah. I said, oh yeah, well, funny, I've got a sister living in Canberra. I gave her, my sister, Yoni's address to look her up. Anyway, we're there a while, and he's telling me about his work and, you know, how he's professional croupier. And he says, come upstairs, I'll show you a few things. So he goes upstairs, and he's got this little room with a card table there, and he gets the cards out, and he's doing the shuffling and the fan and the fucking rah rah rah, you know, and this guy, he was fucking good, believe me. A definite professional lockout. He was the senior dealer anyway, so he had to be good. So he gets there and he shuffles the deck, and then he says, all right, pick a card, puts it in the thing, picks it out. Oh yeah, jack of spades. Fair enough, it was it. Then he gets there and he goes, and he's turning the cards like that. He's not looking at them, right? He's telling me what card it is. Bang, 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 one after the other. And I'm just fucking blown out, mate. This guy's just amazing. Anyway, he's telling me how all the casinos and all that are all free. I knew they were rigged to some, but he explained to us how they are fucking rigged, these casinos. I thought, here's a go. So anyway, then he starts teaching me all the signals, how they fucking cheat on the card table. Oh yeah, this is good. Anyway, next thing, he says, oh, Mrs. Lee's turning up here in 10 minutes. She's a gambling addict. You know, she comes around because this guy on the side organises big bloody gambling nights where, you know, half a dozen people turn up and, you know, big money. And anyway, she turns up, this woman, and she's dripping in gold and fucking, oh, what? Anyway, he pulls out some money, gives it to me, because we're going to fucking cheat this woman out of some money, right? So anyway, while we're playing there, she says, oh, have you got any money? And I pulled out $2.5 million and gave that to him, just to make up a hand. And we're sitting there, and then we're playing and playing and playing, and I'm winning, and I'm just fucking cleaning up, mate. You know, she wins the odd hand only because she turns up blackjack. Anyway, we're gambling away, like, she only had 15 minutes, this woman, right? Because she had an appointment somewhere. So, we're sitting there playing, and then she goes all in, right? Now, the kitty had 60,000, oh, I didn't tell you. She pulls out the purse, there's wads of fucking US dollars like that, right? My eyes just fell out of my head, right? And she goes all in, right? And in the pot, there was 60,000 US dollars there, right? And I knew, like, I'd won the hand, I knew what the cards were, right? I knew what cards she had, and I knew what you know, because he'd give me the fucking signal, right? She says all in, and I knew, because I'm fucking saying, all right, all in too, you know? Knowing that I've won, she doesn't know, right, that I've fucking won the hand. But then she turns around and says, oh, hang on, where's your fucking, because the stake, I had to put another 40,000 in to make up her all in, right? I don't have $40,000. All I had was a handful of fucking plastic chips that I cashed with him, right, to get the game started and get going, right? Anyway, says, oh, wait, stop, fucking blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not going to turn the cards because, you know, you haven't got your stake. If I win, all that's on there is plastic chips. Huh. Fuck. So he says, all right, okay, no problem. I'll ring up, I'll organise the money, blah, blah, blah. And so we got there, we closed the table. He's got a safe there and a fucking briefcase, puts the money in. We gets the cards, we put them in sealed envelopes, sign the envelopes, blocked it all away. She's got the key. And she says, all right, we'll be back in an hour. He'll get the money organised. We'll be back in an hour to, you know, close the hand. Mate, I was fucking shaking like this, mate. You know, he says to me, right, out of the 100 grand, 60-40's the split, right? So I stand to make 40,000 US dollars, mate. As I said, I was fucking shaking. I was, mate, couldn't believe it. I thought, you know, the hand of God would come out of the clouds and fucking touch me and bless me this day, you know? Anyway, he gets on the phone, he rings this one guy, his wife's in fucking China or something, and he can only lend 27,000 or something, and he rings up another guy and he can get 5,000 or 6,000, something, blah, blah. Anyway, I had to come up with 6,000 US dollars. Now, I had my credit cards there, which were empty at that stage, So he said, go out and buy some mobile phones, some gold or jewellery or something, blah, 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 and I'll cash it in and we'll put it in the pot. Oh, yeah, fair enough. So me and the son and the cousin and the other cousin, the two females, we're in a taxi off heading into town to buy gold and mobile phones. Anyway, as fate were to be, I got rejected on the purchases because the stupid bitch in the shop, instead of putting 4,300 on the transaction, she put 43,000, and naturally my credit was only 7,000, so they rejected it. I don't know, someone might have been looking after me at the time, unbeknown to me. Anyway, so then we goes and tries to get money out of the card from the casino, and that doesn't work, and blah blah, all our hassling around was all for shit. Anyway, the hours pass for him to come up with the money, you see. So then he turns around, I rings him up from the casino because I went to Sheraton to try and cash the money. And he says, oh, Mrs. Lee said she'll give us 24 hours to come up with the money. So I said, all right. This guy wanted me to fly back to Australia, get the fucking money, come back the next day, and I thought, oh, fuck, this is all too much for me. God, I've only just known these people 5 minutes and they want me to fucking travel around the world for them. Anyway, I just said to him, no, I can't come up with the dough. So, as things turned out, I wanted to go, and they had things to do too. So I gets out, because remember I put in 2.6 million. I says to little Jimmy, I said, rings up the old man. I says, hey, I've got no money. I give you my last couple of $1 million. And I said, get Jimmy to give me $1 million out of his money. He said, oh yeah, right. So I gets back $1 million dong out of me 2.6, and said, all right, I'll see you later. Now, stupid me, at the time when I was going to one of the jewellery shops, I got the mobile phone number, but I didn't get the address. I had it. I wrote the number 22, and that was it in the friggin' address book. And stupid me didn't write the rest of the address. I thought, I'll just get it later, because at that time, I think everything was hunky dory, blah blah blah. So anyway, I rings him up that afternoon. Oh, I can't come up with the dough. Oh, yeah, we got 24 hours. I said, can you come up with the dough? Yeah, I'll try. Racka. So anyway, then this went on. She couldn't come up. 24 hours passed. No money. I can't get that fucking money together, because by this time, that night, I just had this dream, right? And in my dreams, all dreams are symbolic, right? But I had this dream. Now that was the dream. This was the hand of God coming out of the clouds the day before. I thought I'd been blessed. And then that night I'd had this dream about the hand playing the cards with the fingers chopped off. And I said to Al, I smell a rat here. Anyway, so 3 days apart, then I ring him up. This hassles. One day the phone's disconnected. Fucking all these bullshit hassles. And by this time I'm really fucking thinking something wrong here. I've smelled a rat. My dream told me something's wrong here. Anyway, as it turned out, she had to fly back to Brunei, this Mrs. Lee, Mrs. Gold Dripping person, and she was going to give us 3 days now to come up with the money. Anyway, after 3 days, they said I smelled a rat. I kept throwing off with this guy, JR was his name, saying, look, I can't come up with the money, there's no way. And he's saying, oh, well, I'll try, blah, 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 you know, racker. Anyway, after 3 days, because she said, oh, look, Mrs. Lee, she's given us time to come up with the money. We couldn't come up with the money. She fucking won the hand, right? So then I thought, hang on, I've been set up here somehow. I reckon these cunts have tried to set me up to rip me off. But anyway, had it not turned out that way, mate, I would have won $40,000 fucking dollars if that bitch hadn't have said, right, all in, but where's your money? Mate, I'd won the fucking packet, mate. Or, you know, what was there, I'd won 20 odd grand that stayed there and I never fucking got access to. Anyway, as it all said and done, I lost 1.6 million fucking dong in the deal and could have potentially lost, you know, if I'd gone out and bought all this gold and these mobile phones and all that. That's why I said, oh, you know, I smelled a fucking rat here. Anyway, that was my one brush with absolute jackpot, you know, like I did in the drawing. The hand came out of the clouds, God and touched me and said, you know, you bless some, because if I'd won 40,000 US, mate, I would have thrown that cash around like crazy, you know. But anyway, I might try and ring him before I go back just to say hello and how you going, what's new, pussycat. Yeah. So, how's that for a little tale? Pretty mad, huh? Yeah, so it's a mad old world we live in. And anyway, if this daughter of his tries to contact my sister in Canberra, I'll be saying to her, kick the fucking bitch out in the street and fucking bash her. No, maybe it was all upright and straightforward, but you know, my dreams, you know, I have this third eye, you see, tells me all. And what else have I got to blab about? Scusito. Yeah, well, I've had my little close intimate talk with you, darling, and I'll look at winding up this little segment. Leave something for later on, and maybe have another crack at getting some sleep. My eye, Jesus! I might have another crack at the doctor's tomorrow if it doesn't. I got in there with the pressure hose and give the old eye a flush and a half. Try and get it happening. Yeah, because who knows? But I just hope I don't lose my fucking eyes and my eyesight, you know, because, you know, me and me, oh, it'll be all right, Jack attitude. I can kick myself sometimes. Stupid, you know. And then this is make things fucking worse. By the time you know, I should have, when it first happened, gone to the doctors, because I did have travel insurance, right? But that run out a week ago, and now I have no cover. You know, my luck. But, this whole little segment here has all been about my good and bad luck all rolled into one. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting home. God, gotta get home and move out. Fuck me. Look, there's a lot of shit going on at home. Oh, I won't go there. Why? Because this is about Vietnam. This is not about fucking Dumpsy, like the life and crimes and amateur dramatics of the Brookmans in Dumpsy. I was born into this family to learn in this life about tolerance and compassion. And I tell you what, they've dished it up to me big time, because things my wicked old fucking witch of a mother's done are totally unforgivable. And I won't even go to her fucking funeral, I'm telling you. I'll fucking shit on her grave when she fucking has it too. Anyway, on that note, I'll say goodbye. Good night.
Bye all, come back now here.